Hi, welcome into Authentically Lovable You, a podcast on authenticity. I hope you guys have been doing great, enjoying your holidays and more holidays to come. And we're going to be looking into a new year, which is fabulous. So, today, what we're going to talk about in Authentically Lovable You is taking inventory. How you end one thing is how you're going to begin another. So as we're wrapping up this year of 2025, how do we go into 2026? So I was on a walk this morning and I was thinking about this topic about inventory. And when I close out a year, I want to do all my recyclables, my shreds, get my tax documents together, getting ready for the new year because I like to start fresh, a clean slate. But it's very important as I was walking and I met this amazing gentleman on my walk, and I just kept getting the sense of how you end one thing is how you're going to begin another. So we want to take time to take an inventory of this last year and moving forward in 2026, how to clear out those things to make room for the new. And remember, this is your life. So we're going to look at this authentically. You're going to look at your life like I look at my life. And authentically and honestly, like looking in the mirror. Just be real with yourself. And don't make it like perfection. Make it about something that you want to see positive changes in. So again, how we're going to end one thing, meaning this year, is going to be how we begin another. So we want to bring positive closure, right? Anticipating the new. So the context for the new year, this is a great time to reset as we go into the new year. And it's truly effective that we take stock of where we are and what we need to release. So the purpose is taking inventory. The purpose of the podcast is to be taking inventory authentically. It means about honest self-reflection, not about perfection. And we're going to look at every area: spiritual, financial, emotional, relational, and physical. And a thoughtful check-in. Let's start with our spiritual inventory. What does it mean to clear spiritual toxicity? We clear out beliefs or practices or attachments that no longer serve our spiritual growth. This could include toxic religious or spiritual experiences, old wounds, or limiting beliefs about one's own worth. Here's a guided question. What spiritual practice brings me peace, and what drains me? Are there any beliefs or judgments about myself or others that need to be let go? Action tip. I would recommend some practices like journaling, meditation, or prayer to create space for clarity and renewal in the spiritual realm. 2, financial inventory. Let's assess our financial health. I want to look at clearing out financial clutter, debts, overspending, unhealthy financial patterns. This might also involve letting go of the fear or shame associated with money. Here's some guided questions. Are there any unhealthy financial habits or mindsets I need to shift? What do I need to take responsibility for financially? Budgeting, saving, planning? Action tip. So here are some suggestions on financial organization. Create a budget. Set a financial goal. Simplify accounts. Number 3, emotional inventory. Emotional clutter and its impact. Carrying unresolved emotions like anger, grief, or resentment impacts mental and physical health. The idea here is to clean house emotionally before stepping into the new year. Here's a question for you. Are there unresolved emotions or past traumas I need to confront or release? How can I show more compassion toward myself and others in my emotional life? Here's a tip. Maybe practice like therapy. Talk with a trusted friend. Or doing deep emotional work like journaling, which helps to express feelings. Next, relational inventory, clearing toxic relationships. Address any unhealthy relationships, whether they're with friends, family, or partners. What do we need to heal or let go of in order to step into the new year with healthier dynamics? Here's a question. Are there relationships that feel draining or toxic that I need to reconsider? And how can I cultivate more positive, supportive connections? Action tip. I would encourage us to set boundaries, engage in difficult conversations, or even distance ourselves from unhealthy relationships. Next area, physical inventory. We want to clear the body and the environment. So let's talk about physical decluttering. This can include cleaning out physical possessions, decluttering living spaces, and taking care of our body. Clearing physical space often leads to mental clarity. Here's a question. Are there any habits, routines, or physical things that weigh you down? Diet, exercise, or home clutter? What can I do to nurture my body and environment as I enter the new year? Action tip. Try spring cleaning or start with small changes in the physical habits. Healthy eating, decluttering the home, or physical activity. In conclusion, we're closing the chapter to 2025. And we're opening a new door to 2026. So I want to remind you that clearing out the past prepares us for the future. It's not about perfection, it's about intentionality. So I want to encourage you to find a ritual or practice for the new year. Maybe writing down what you're releasing, doing a cleansing ceremony, or even a simple visualization to mark the transition. Here's a call to action. I want to invite you guys to share your own inventory practices with us, maybe through social media or an email. Build a community around the concept of authentic self-reflection, which strengthen the podcast connection with listeners. So it's really important. You can do this very easily. It doesn't take a lot of time, and we still have time before we have the new year approach. And maybe the next podcast I'll do a check-in with how you're doing on this. But it's very simple. Maybe pick one or two things out of each category. Emotionally, financially, physically. I know I was thinking about my new year coming up. And I'm like, I really need to incorporate more stretching. Perhaps after I do my weight set, right? I do that 3 to 4 times a week. That would be an easy change for me, right? Health-wise, maybe eating more fresh vegetables. Something simple, clearing out some decluttering, right? Looking at some new money apps. Some new investments, different things, all right? So remember, we always want to take small steps. Why? Because we don't want to get overwhelmed. A lot of times when we get overwhelmed, and we have too many things going on, we don't accomplish one thing. So this coming year for me, 2026, will be a year of intention. So instead of setting goals, because a lot of times I set goals at the new year, well, they might get accomplished within a week. So I want to take this year and reflect monthly and maybe weekly. How's it going? Take a check with yourself, take a pulse, and start small and authentically. This is not about perfection. This is just about improving your life. And when we talk about authentically, that means you're looking within and just being honest with yourself. If you want to take a vacation to Europe next year, what is it going to cost? And how much do I need to save? And what's the best time of year to go? And maybe open a new small savings account and maybe deposit some money each month. And then, in 6 months, take your vacation. So just really start simple. It's a new year approaching. I'm personally glad to put 2025 behind me, and I'm excited to move forward. I have new opportunities, new outreaches, new things that I'm doing, and it's time to, I envision packing up old boxes, right? Packing up things and moving some things out and being done, even relationally. Some relationships haven't been for my good. And that's me being authentic. And I'm looking for positive connections that are going to support me emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. And so where do I go in that? And so as the year begins to end for all of us, I take an inventory of, you could take a piece of paper and just draw a line right down the middle. And one column could be 2025 and the next column could be 2026. And do the categories and pick one thing in each category you'd like to change or like to see different. So I know I don't want toxic relationships. People that are full of drama, chaos, arguments, trying to work against my good. So for 2026, I want supportive, positive relationships that are not toxic. It's as simple as that. So I would encourage you to do that. That's what I'm going to be working on. And so in the next couple weeks, I'll check back in, see how we're doing, and we'll wrap up this year. But in the meantime, remember always to be authentic, to walk in true honesty with first and foremost yourself and others, and carry that message of authenticity and integrity to others, and continue to be that light and example. So until next time, I hope this message has found you well, and I wish you all the best, but continue to be authentically lovable you. Bye-bye.